Live from Calgary, Alberta. This is ManDate, new Toronto Raptors edition. I'm your host, Connor Kern, with our new lovely guest host, Scott Vigneault.
G'day.
So today, it's been a while since I've done a podcast, but what I've done in the past is I go on Reddit quite a bit every day. I check the Calgary subreddit, the movie subreddit, NBA subreddit, and Today I Learned subreddit.
Right.
And I was on cruising the NBA subreddit, and there was one that said, would love to make a network of podcasts for all the different NBA teams. So I have a Chicago podcast, a New York Knicks podcast, the Raptors podcast, have it all sort of under one network, sort of grassroots basketball podcast movement.
It's a cool idea to get everyday fans
talking
about the game, talking about their team.
Yeah, talking about ball. So I don't know if anyone knows, but I'm a big ball player, big ball fan. I'm getting into basketball coaching for the past 5 years now, and absolutely love it. And Scott and I played basketball together all through high school, club ball, university. We coached together. Both big NBA fans, both big Raptors fans.
Ooh.
So I was like, well, why don't we get together and we'll make a Toronto Raptors podcast for this new network. So I don't even know much details about this new network. They're still putting it together, very grassroots. But
we make the rules.
We make the rules. We do whatever we want, which is how I like to live my life. So we're going to be the Toronto Raptors podcast, which is great, even though I know we're in Calgary, but the main man, Scott Vigneault,
is Canada's team.
It's Canada's team, first of all, yeah. And second of all, you're moving to Toronto in December.
December 1st.
So you're going to be our on-site correspondent, which will be good. So
just give me a mic that's not plugged into anything. I'll just shoot from above my shoulders, and I'll go around interviewing people.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Here for Raptors ManDate. That mic's not plugged in.
So yeah, we'll just thought we'd try and see this.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into the Raptors, talk a little about last season, a little bit about the off season. I had the opportunity to go see a preseason game last week, and give you my thoughts there. First look at the boys and future outlook on the upcoming season.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I should have worn my Raptors jersey. Why didn't we wear Raptors stuff?
I don't think I'm as big of a fan as I am. I don't think I own a Raptors memorabilia.
My dad bought me a Chris Bosh jersey when I was in high school. I don't know why I didn't wear it.
Oh yeah, it's red or
it's white and red. I was like, oh, this whole week when we record, I'm gonna wear it.
I had a Damon Stoudemire jersey growing up.
Really?
Yeah, Mighty Mouse.
That's pretty cool.
He was the man.
And then the one cool thing, I was living in Sweden, and the guy I coached with, he was from Africa, but his brother played for the Raptors. His brother was like a 7-foot.
No way.
Like not a very he was 7-footer center.
But he was on the roster.
On the roster, like obvious role player again, but he played with Carter and played with all the boys. And the guy I coached with, he remembers he moved to Canada to go live with his brother, and he just partied with them all and hung out with them.
Those are still the glory days. That's my favorite time for basketball ever. Even though the game is so competitive today, and last season was one of the best seasons that I can remember. But 2000, 2001, 2002 Raptors, when they were actually contending for potentially to go play in it for a championship. I'll never forget Vince Carter's missed corner 3 against the Sixers to go to the Eastern Conference Championship.
Yeah,
I think they would have played the Lakers in the final and lost.
But they were just an exciting team to watch.
Well, Vince Carter did so much for basketball in Canada. Changed the game. He's a hero for me, because growing up playing basketball in Canada is not the easiest thing to do. Most kids aren't playing basketball.
No.
When we were growing up.
No.
And to have someone made the game sexy and cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And was the most exciting player in the game, and he's in Canada. So it was.
Yeah, I think it really brought attention to this.
Brought my game to another level.
Oh, well, it did. Yeah, like you said, finally it was cool. And I think the reason basketball's also exploded in Canada is that Canada is a country of people that aren't from here. They're a country of immigrants, and
Yeah.
when immigrants are coming to this country, like my parents were immigrants, when they're coming, like they don't have a lot of money, so they can't afford to put their kids into hockey, you know, and we can't play soccer outside because it's always so darn cold.
Yeah.
So you just get a pair of basketball shoes, and
It's an affordable sport.
it's an affordable sport, you know. So that's how I got into it.
Yeah.
You know, that's how a lot of other kids get into it, and that's why I think it's just exploded in popularity. Vince Carter is a huge role to play.
Some people hate on that, like for the Blue Jays, for example. Some people don't like the idea that the whole country gets around one team. They say like, "Oh, you're just jumping on the bandwagon," but I actually love that.
I love it.
Last night watching the Blue Jays game, even though they lost, it's like everyone is in the bar watching the game. No one likes baseball in the bar, but everyone's going crazy for the Blue Jays. And the same thing can happen with the Raptors.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in the last couple of years. Like the fan base is insane. Like thousands of people outside Air Canada Center for playoff games. That doesn't happen anywhere, and it's freezing cold.
I know, and it's just growing and growing, because that's all I want. I would love to go like deep playoff run and like put on the Game in the Office, and everyone's going to the bar to watch Raptors games.
The day that happens in Calgary, the day that pigs fly, like trying to get a game on the TV at a bar in Calgary is a hard thing to do. Like you're gonna get beat up by curling.
Yeah,
The Briar. Well, so why don't we get into it? We want to talk a little bit about last year?
Yeah.
Last year was an exciting year. I followed the Raptors pretty closely last season. First half of the year, I remember they won on this huge tear. They're top 2 or 3 records in the league. Kyle Lowry's a first-team All-Star, MVP candidate. And then all of a sudden, the All-Star break comes, and they're a totally different team second half of the season. They can't play defense, can't keep teams to under 100, 105 points a game. Kyle Lowry looks like he's gained 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and he's a half step slower. And then they go into the playoffs and just totally fall apart and get swept by the Washington Wizards. Paul Pierce, I don't know if you remember that series, but Paul Pierce was just
took over,
just a dagger after dagger, and they couldn't come back. Like I think after a few tough losses on a young team, is hard. Like I'm glad that they went through that last year.
Yeah,
they'll be more mature, or at least I hope that they will.
Well, I think you can already see it in the preseason. I mean, Kyle Lowry posted a picture on his Instagram. He looks like half his weight. He looks like a high school kid.
Yeah.
And I was reading up on it, and it was actually his wife, if what I read was correct, it was his wife that convinced him, because it was his wife that said, you know, you were your best when you're at your college weight.
Right.
And that's when he's his fastest. That's when he's the most mobile. And so I guess just in the off season, he just decided what he did was less. I read up on his routine, and what he did was far more cardio, and less like lifting.
Yeah,
like he still lifts quite a bit, but that's not his sole focus. His sole focus is cardio and being able to last longer.
They asked DeRozan about his new body. It was like the day after that picture came out, and DeRozan's just like, man, I don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to be athletic or something. But yeah, Lowry was always a little chubby, and let's see what it does for him.
Well, I think he's already off. I know it was just the preseason, but he's already been tearing it up in his new weight. He's dropping like 40.
Yeah, the game that I went to, he dropped 40.
Yeah. So which game were you at again?
So I saw Raptors Timberwolves in Toronto last Monday,
and
they won.
Was Wiggins playing?
Wiggins was playing, and Wiggins' brother is now on the Timberwolves as well.
What?
Canadian. His older brother.
Is he good?
I don't know. I saw him play for like 45 seconds.
But, where was he before? In the D League?
Yeah, this is his first time in the NBA, and I'm sure that Andrew had something to do with that.
What does he play?
So I think he looks like a small forward. He's got a similar body to Andrew Wiggins. But Andrew Wiggins looked great. I think he had 20 points, close to 10 rebounds. And he doesn't look like he should be good. He's so wiry and awkward, but his shot doesn't look nice. Like I don't like the way that his play looks.
Yeah.
But he's so long and athletic, and he can get to the rim, and he can't shoot as well.
Everyone makes fun of him because he goes like this. He puts when he's walking around, during like the dead ball, he puts his hands on the back of his back,
Right.
and everyone makes fun of him because he says everyone thinks it looks feminine. But I read into it, and have you noticed that he does that?
Now
just
you mentioned it a little, yeah.
He puts his hands on his back and just walks around like that. But his mom was an Olympic sprinter, and his mom actually taught him that when your arms are back like that and your shoulders are back, it expands your lungs so you can get more air.
Because I always used to do this when you get winded.
Yeah.
But I guess that makes sense too.
It's the same. It's the same principles, and I think that might even bring it more. So that's it. If you notice every dead ball, that's what he does. And but yeah. But speaking of the preseason and speaking of Canadian #1 draft picks, big move for the Raptors.
Signing Anthony Bennett.
First Canadian to ever be drafted #1. Disappointing start to the career, I'd say.
Yeah, he seems to have been overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Really tough start right into the league with the Cavs. I don't think the Cavs knew that he suffered from sleep apnea.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He has asthma. There was a couple things that surfaced that I don't think the Cavaliers knew. And his work ethic has been questioned, and he's just people question whether he can perform under pressure. Yeah, and so he's bounced from the Cavaliers to the Timberwolves, and kind of under Andrew Wiggins' shadow in the Timberwolves, another Canadian first overall draft pick. But I think if he can succeed anywhere, it's with the Raptors.
Yeah, well, a lot of people saw him when he played for Team Canada with Wiggins in the Pan Americas games.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked really good. He was throwing down monster jams. He was shooting the ball well.
Yeah, a player like him, he needs to play with confidence because he's not a totally skilled player. He's he should be an aggressive, like throw your body around Charles Barkley, kick your ass type.
Yeah. That's my type of player.
He needs that attitude. He's a piano mover. Our coach in high school used to tell us that there are two types of players: piano players and piano movers. I'm a piano player. I can finesse. I can get to the basket. But Connor's down there tossing people around, getting boards, getting in your face, talking trash.
The nitty-gritty. Because the way he described it was that a piano is a very delicate instrument, and it has to be moved a certain way. There's only certain people that can move a piano, but just like there's only certain people that can move a piano, there's only certain people that can play the piano. But you need both of them in order to hear that sweet, sweet music. So the piano players in basketball, the piano movers, and both are equally as important. But yeah.
So the Raptors have found their Canadian piano mover, but I think they've also found their Canadian piano player in Corey Joseph.
Okay.
So they've added Corey Joseph from the San Antonio Spurs. Great back. He was Tony Parker's backup point guard, coming from a really strong system. Looked great for Team Canada as well. And in the preseason, he's looked really solid. I think he's going to keep Kyle Lowry accountable.
Yeah.
To play some sweet, sweet music. So let's go through a couple of players, and you'll tell me whether they're a piano player or a piano mover.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So new addition to the Raptors this offseason, their biggest acquisition, gave him a big contract, successful, gritty player from the Atlanta Hawks, Damari Carroll. This is an obvious one. Is he a piano player or a piano mover? Keyword grit.
Piano mover.
Oh, yeah, this guy is a piano mover. He's all over the court, high energy. He didn't come into the league with a shot or any real skill. He's going to dive for loose balls, and he's going to get you 8 or 9 rebounds a game. But he plays a small forward position, and he just takes pride in his defense. He's tough. They're calling him Junkyard Dog 2.0. So he's going to be an exciting player to watch. I saw him in the preseason, and offense looked spotty. Couldn't hit any shots. Just looked like he was getting comfortable. But he's going to be the type of player who guards the LeBrons, the Kevin Durant's, these top players on other teams, which is something that the Raptors have really struggled to do in the last couple of years. Perimeter defense has been a big issue for them. So
is he quick on his feet?
He's quick on his feet, and he's strong, and he's just got so much energy. That's one thing that's inevitable. His motor is unbelievable.
Who's next?
You give me one.
Okay. One of my favorite players on the Raptors, the big man from the Eastern Bloc, Mr. Jonas Valanciunas.
Jonas is one of the premier piano movers in the league. I really like Jonas. he's tough and he's young, but he doesn't like other big men that the Raptors have had, like Bargnani, Garbajosa. These guys were soft.
I forgot all about Garbajosa.
Getting tossed around in the paint. And
more like garbage.
Yeah. Well, do you remember Garbajosa when he snapped his leg?
Oh,
that like ended his stint.
I don't remember that.
Gross.
Well, now I feel bad for calling him garbage. I didn't realize how big basketball was in Lithuania until I did an exchange to France, and I had a Lithuanian buddy, and he was so diehard basketball. Yeah. And I just didn't know, but he was like, Lithuania basketball is like religion. And not soccer, it's not anything else. They just love their basketball.
That's like the national sport, hey?
Yeah, and of course I read into it more. And in the 1930s, a coach from Michigan went over and just started teaching people to play, and it just caught like wildfire.
Right.
And now like they have someone like you just go and just always street ballers playing. Yeah. Like they have a national academy that they take so seriously. Yeah. And like Team Lithuania always does phenomenal, whether it's at the European level championships or in the Olympics.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think of some other Lithuanian players. I know Denver had a player, Lithuanian guy. He's been in the league for a while, but I can't think of any other pros right now that are Lithuanians.
I'm so bad with names, but there's a few. There is a few. I have a couple. So, but Jonas Valanciunas, I think, is a great pick. When he came to the Raptors, I messaged my Lithuanian friend Gytis, and I was just like, "Yo, we're gonna go to the ship together."
Yeah, they took a gamble on him because he didn't even play the year that he was drafted. He stayed in Lithuania. And seems to have paid dividends, like getting to play pro ball for a few years before coming to the league. It's a trend. Like a lot of American players are even opting to go to China and play pro rather than play in NCAA. Mm-hmm. That's a whole other can of worms. But yeah, to get paid to play is makes a lot of sense for a guy coming out of high school now, and to still have the opportunity to be drafted. Like Emmanuel Mudiay was drafted this year, like fifth or sixth overall to Denver. Played in China. He was a top American prospect. He's chosen to go play overseas.
Oh, is that the little guy?
He's pretty big. He's a point guard. He's like 6'4", probably.
There's another guy that just got signed to Houston. He was like a high school whiz, but he's only like 5'4".
Oh, wow.
And they call him the Crime Stopper because he's from Baltimore.
Oh, really?
And people would like stop doing crime to come watch him play. But he opted to not go to college and to go play to get paid in Europe. And now he just signed. Now he just signed with Houston Rockets. Yeah. Maybe that's something our Houston Rockets podcast can talk about, because a lot of people just don't think he's.
We need another Muggsy Bogues in the league. Give the little guys a chance.
Man, he can throw down too and everything. Wow, he's insane. But yeah. Anyways,
back to the Raps. Let's talk this season.
Oh well, yeah. I would love to talk about this season. Big thing I want to talk about is, how do you see this season going? Do you see it's going to be? What place do you think they'll finish in the Atlantic Division?
I think they'll win the Atlantic again.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the most competitive year in the NBA in a long time. More competitive than last year, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think I think Cleveland is going to be even stronger. I think San Antonio is potential front runner with LaMarcus Aldridge now on their team.
Man, I'm so pumped.
Then Golden State. In the East is still trying to catch up with the Western Conference. But OKC, Kevin Durant is healthy again. He's back. In the Eastern Conference, I think you got Cleveland, Chicago, Toronto. Indiana could come back with Paul George being healthy again. But I think Toronto will win the East. This is my prediction for the season. They'll win the Atlantic Division, and they're going to get out of the first round for the first time in a long time. But I don't see them going. I see them probably maybe running into a Cleveland or Chicago, and I just don't think that they've got it in them to get past them.
Well, what do you think's missing? Do you think they just need another superstar, like another?
I think it's as much praise as we gave Jonas. I still think they're missing a legitimate inside presence on offense. I think they're solid defensively. Jonas his offensive game is getting better, but at power forward, there's still a question mark for me. they've got a few players that are going to play in that rotation. DeMarre Carroll's not quite a power forward. But I don't know. The game is changing too. People are playing small ball.
Well, I was just going to bring that up. I mean, do you think that matters, that inside presence? Now
Well, the thing is that the big guys that they do have are not versatile big men. Like Jonas Valanciunas is a pretty one-dimensional player. Like he's not going to hit an outside jumper. So I think maybe what they're missing is that adaptability in those 4 or 5 position. Okay. Because like we say, a lot of teams, their power forwards are a Kevin Durant or a LaMarcus Aldridge who can step out and hit that shot and are quick on their feet. And guys like Anthony Davis, like how do you guard Anthony Davis?
You can't.
Yeah, he's a guard in a 6'11" body who's big, like strong guy.
Did you ever see his junior high pictures?
Yeah, respect to keeping the does he have the unibrow since junior high?
Yeah. If you look at he's got these little dinky glasses, and he looks like the kid from the Bernie Mac show.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
respect,
man.
like
Totally
they gave it such a hard time, but to stick with it,
to own it, like that's.
I hope he never shaves it, and if he does, then he should get even harder of a time than he originally did.
Shaq just said that his kid wants to
have a unibrow.
No, yeah. Please have a unibrow. No, he wants his son to watch how Anthony Davis plays, and he wants his son to play like Anthony Davis.
Shaq's son is unreal, isn't he?
He's pretty good. He's a bit small. He's skinny. He doesn't have as much muscle as his dad, but
that's a big shoes to fill.
You know, I know this is off topic here, but speaking of kids, you know whose kid is getting some actually two kids that are getting some attention is Manute Bol's son.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in the high school. He's in the high school right now, and he's got some insane handles. There's a couple of highlight videos of him.
He's obviously a big guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'7", 6'8" again, but he's got handles. He can shoot the ball.
6'7", 6'8", that's a disappointment if you're Manute Bol's son.
Well,
but is he still in grade 10? Or
I think he's in grade 10.
So he's got some room to grow.
His wife was only like 5'6" or something.
But Manute Bol was like 6'7", 5?
7'6", yeah. So just insane. But also, another disappointing news is John Stockton's kid just got released from the Sacramento Kings.
Shit.
Yeah.
You need a Stockton in the league. You need someone driving a minivan to the game.
You ever watch that video of John Stockton in Barcelona at the 92 Olympics?
Yeah.
He's just with the camera going around. He's like, "You excited about the dream team this year?" They're like, "Yeah, excited about Magic and Michael Jordan." And he's like, "Would you like to meet someone on the dream team?" "Yeah, that'd be awesome." And it's like, "Here I am." And it's like,
he's got the dream team shirt on with all the characters of the different players. He's like, "So who's your favorite player? Pick him out." And nobody picks John Stockton. But God bless him. Heartbreaking career. If it weren't for Michael Jordan, that guy would have a couple of 5 or 6 championships.
Still has the all-time leading record of steals. No one will ever get as many steals.
Feisty, man.
He was a scrappy dude in some short shorts. But anyways, we've been digressing.
Get back to this coming season. So I say, get out of the first round.
The biggest problem is going to be their
inside presence.
Their inside presence.
I think because DeMarre Carroll, he's supposed to be their stopper, but he can't guard an Anthony Davis or a Kevin Durant or these versatile big men. And I don't think that they added Luis Scola actually, and he's a great defender.
Yeah.
So, but he's getting old and he's slow, and his hair weighs 40 pounds.
He had a great tournament in the
FIBA Americas. He crushed Canada.
Yeah. He performed really well. So you know what? I think he's got a little bit of legs left in him. So I'm excited to see him.
All in all, I'm optimistic. I think that they could get out of the second round as well, but I'm trying not to get too excited because Raptors fans have a tragic flaw, and that's we get all amped up and then you get swept by the Washington Wizards.
Okay, so last few things. Last thing I want to talk about before we wrap this up is I think every time we do Raptors podcast, I think we should have a Drake update.
Oh yeah.
So just see what the hell he's doing and what he's doing with the Raptors and what chaos he's creating.
Well, he's taking the internet by storm. Have you seen this new music video?
No.
Oh my God, he's got this song Hotline Bling, and the music video. Apparently, Drake's doing some questionable dancing in this music video. And apparently, it's totally unrehearsed, not Like there's no choreography at all. And so now people are starting to make like GIFs and memes out of this music video. And there's one, does this one dance move where it looks like he's playing tennis, like he's kneeling down, pumping his fist. And so people are putting in like tennis rackets into his hand, and he's hitting balls, or he's tossing pepperoni on pizzas. So Drake is stirring things up.
Well, what I want to know is from you, is Drake like him or hate him?
I'm not a fan of Drake's music.
Yeah, but I mean,
as what he's doing with the Raptors,
as an ambassador,
I think it's great. I think that we'll see if other teams can find such a strong fit. The Drake is such a great fit for the Raptors. He's from Toronto. He's like hip hop and rap music is totally in tune with the fan base, and he's one of the biggest stars in the world. But other teams could try, but if they don't get it right, then it could be really weird. Like Jack Nicholson, I guess, is the unofficial sponsor of the Lakers. But if you try and do it with someone, maybe like Drake's got his head on his shoulders, and he doesn't seem to get into much trouble, so that's great. And as far as like the merchandise and the marketing, I think he's brought a lot of fans to the game, and a lot of non-Canadian fans to the game, because Drake's international star.
Yeah,
and when they see him sitting in front row,
he's putting the Raptors on the
getting the lint off his pants. Yeah, he's on the national stage, which is a really creative marketing effort on the Raptors' part.
Think he's getting paid?
It's a good question. I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think. I wonder if he even has to pay for his seats. I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it as well. Something to look up. Well, there you have it. Episode 1 of Toronto Raptors ManDate Toronto Raptors edition. Let us know what you think. Hopefully, we'll get it under this NBA subreddit network, and then we'll. I would like to do this maybe once a week, something like that. Update all the games, highlights of the week.
This Wednesday, Raptors kick off the NBA regular season against the Indiana Pacers. Looking for a W. Let's get off to a hot start like last season.
Oh, new jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
The jerseys are sick.
The new jerseys are sleek and slick.
All right.
Fabulous. Look for me on the ground in Toronto with my mic that's not plugged into anything. Signing off.
All right. This has been ManDate with Con and Veens. Talk to you later.